Hey guys, and welcome to one more episode of Builder Nation. For today's agenda, we have Venki Ayalur, founder, president, and CTO at Blendid, the startup transforming how and what we eat one robot at a time. So welcome, and thank you so much for being here, Venki. Super excited to know you and to hear about the company.
Thank you, Alyssa. It's great to meet you, and yeah, super excited to share any insights that we have about Blendid. Venki Ayalur, as you said, co-founder, president, CTO of Blendid. We founded Blendid 7 years back. We were a startup based out of in Sunnyvale, California. We at that point in time, we were thinking about automating food. We didn't have exactly smoothies in mind. So originally, the concept came about at least my wish list was, you look at recipes have never been automated in the humanity. Every person's recipes it's unique, and they all bring their flavors and taste and everything. So I wanted to automate recipes for a long time, and got the idea in terms of, hey, with the robotics and automation taking place, it would be great to, I kind of figured out how to automate it. So got in garage, bought a robot, built some automation. We made some Indian dishes and it looked great. And then we figured, okay, yes, this is doable. And then we'll start with Blendid. Once we formed the company, we were trying to think about, hey, what is the first food to automate? And then we were bouncing around ideas and we came up with, hey, let's automate smoothies, which is a big enough category overall to automate. And during the course of automation, we will solve a number of problems because food automation is tough and hard. I think just putting the system together, we'll learn a lot and then say that's how we started. And then boom, fast forward 7 years later, here we are. We have a number of kiosks all over the United States. We have sold over 100,000 smoothies to customers, and we are growing. And yeah, it's been a great journey. Yeah.
Wow, it's amazing. I can believe that was 7 years ago. That's a really long time.
Yeah.
And I'm really curious, to ask about your experience. You are not only the founder, but also the CTO. And I'm pretty sure that you're all hands on deck, right?
Yes. When we started, in terms of technology, I was the only person in Army, and then my other co-founders also chipped in. It's been all over the place, right? From founding the company to doing all these, software changes, hardware changes. All of this putting together. Right now we have a fantastic team, but during the course of startup, it's amazing how many different things that each one of us have done.
Thank you so much for sharing. And I think it's a really great story. I can imagine how much the industry has changed over these years. And I had to congratulate you because I found out, I was looking through the page and through the website, and I noticed that you guys just expanded Jamba by Blendid to the healthcare industry. Those are great news. So maybe Can you share a little bit about it?
When you talk about smoothies, the largest brand in the United States is Jamba. And we found Jamba, Jamba was intrigued, and we got connected and they wanted to try. And it's been a great journey. We've been making Jamba by Blendid kiosks since 2020. So it's been 2 years in the journey, and they've been a fantastic partner for us to work with. Yeah, it's going great.
Congratulations. I think also collaborating with other companies and adding your best part from your product to another company, that's amazing. What do you think these kind of announcements or collaborations or partnerships means for the company?
If you think about it, right? Ultimately we are building a product, right? Our product at this stage is Blendid, which is an autonomous robotic kiosk that makes smoothies. And what we would like to, we are a technology company, right? What we would like to do is build the technology, and we will partner with customers to take it to the marketplace, right? Our customers come in two flavors, right? So if you mentioned Jamba, so Jamba is a fantastic customer. They are the largest smoothie brand. We are happy to have them as our customer. And the second is the food service operator. Ultimately, we want to provide these technologies to our customers so they can serve food to people. We are in the path of growth. And all of these opportunities are extremely helpful for us as a company to grow.
And I can tell you, personally speaking, I'm a really big fan of smoothies. So the fact that I mean, this kind of a technology exists. I think it's great. And I'm super excited to be talking to you right now and to hear your experience and to hear everything about Blendid. I think that's great.
If you think about smoothies, it's one of the other reasons why we picked smoothies is smoothies are very healthy. And part of our operating system is people can customize it exactly the way they want. I mean, you can control your nutrition. So it lends itself to so much with respect to healthy living.
And was it hard? I mean, like talking about 7 years ago, was it hard in order for you to find the product market fit?
Yes, I mean, absolutely. I mean, I think food automation is really hard. There is a reason why it hasn't been done in centuries, right? I mean, there are smaller products that have come, right? But I think in terms of what we do, I mean, it's a fairly hard thing to do. There have been numerous challenges that we have had to battle. If you think about it, I mean, we market this all the time, right? We have an uptime that is 99.8%. Most of the time people can come and operate and keeps delivering drinks. And it's a very hard thing to achieve, right? One is easy to create a prototype, but I think it's very, very hard to make a commercial product. It's been a lot of learnings, a lot of lessons. Now we know what we need not have done, but still you have to go through the journey.
I think everything is a learning. I mean, if we could put it like that. So I'm glad that you guys are where you are right now. And I think everything, it's like a path, right? So you might never know, I mean, what the company is going to be doing in a year or in two. So I think it's really interesting. Absolutely. And also, I mean, I wanted to ask you, I mean, talking about challenges and talking about the history, what would you say it has been maybe the biggest progress that you guys have made today since you started?
It's hard for me to pinpoint one, but I think I can kind of answer this as I've already mentioned food automation is hard, right? So we picked smoothies as an example. When you deal with food, there is enough certification that you need to go through. Managing and handling food is hard, right? Getting the temperatures to be right is hard. The same smoothie to come out consistently every single time is hard, right? I mean, going through the technology aspects of how do you build this product, there are many, many challenges that we went through. I mean, obviously that is one part of the journey. From a business side, just building the product, and then there is nothing more satisfying than seeing a customer order a drink, they get the drink, they taste it, they love it, right? I mean, we are in colleges and supermarkets, hospitals. It is really gratifying to see people walk into the product, get a drink and love it, and then give a feedback, right? And I mean, we collect customer feedback all the time. Once they experience it, they can rate us. We do get negative comments too. Even those comments are actually very good, right? Because that's the way that we learn.
That must be super satisfying. I mean, as a founder and CTO and president, I mean, you must be like really happy about it. And also talking with different founders in the industry, most of them or some of them are involved in the procurement process. I mean, how close are you with this process, or you are more, I don't know, on the engineering, on the operations part of the company?
Deeply involved. I mean, if you look at the product that we have built, it is fairly big in size, right? It's 8 feet by 8 feet. There is a lot that goes into it from a hardware perspective. Our engineers design it. The way that we do it is we break the product into smaller subsystems. So you can kind of think of each one to be a component, right? So robot is a component, solid dispensing is a component. So we build each component with different vendors, and we go through different procurements, and eventually we put it all, our engineers put it all together and make it the product that it is. So yeah, I mean, deeply involved. It's been quite exciting and I mean, fun experience overall.
I think that at that part of the process, I think it's really interesting, especially because you have an operations team and you probably are filled with engineers. I mean, talking about manufacturing and building their robot and, you know, all of this autonomous process, that must be hard and a challenge, right? And I think it's really interesting because most of the teams, like talking about different companies in the industry, most of them organize through Google spreadsheet. They don't actually use a system. So, I mean, how do you guys organize all of that?
Yeah, I mean, I think you bring up hardware, but I think if you think about the team, it's both hardware and software. We kind of look at them together. I mean, when we talk about full stack, I mean, this is what I tell the team. A lot of times the full stack is used as a terminology in a cloud software operating system perspective. But in our case, the full stack is you build the cloud software, you build the app. Our mechatronics engineer loves building being able to write the code to the building the product. So I mean, it is a full stack system, and managing materials and tracking it is always a challenge. Yes, Google Sheets are. I mean, Excel is always the best way to start for any company at a small scale. But as we grow bigger, we start needing tools. A lot of our tools are homegrown, and because I think it helps us work well together. I mean, we built some of these tools ourselves in terms of managing and tracking inventory and things. So yeah, I mean, when you talk about building technology and to scale, right? The way to do it is two things, right? You want to have good people and you want to have good tools, right? So I mean, in our case, we are fortunate we are using them effectively to get to where we are.
I'm glad to hear that, and especially I think it's really rewarding to hear founders and CTOs and talking about that human part of the industry, And I mean, talking about next steps of the company, are you guys planning on expanding, or I don't know, anything that you can share with our audience?
Absolutely. We're all in this to grow. And I mean, if you just look at the history of the company, right? We had the first version. We got live at University of San Francisco in 2019. And the students loved it. Spectacular success. I mean, you would see kids waiting in line to order and get their drink. I mean, but it was just a spectacular story. And then pandemic took place, right? All our go-to-market locations got shut down, right? And then we had to rethink ourselves. But actually, you kind of used that opportunity to build a better product. So I mean, because the original product before pandemic was the first generation. And we have since built 2 additional generations of it. So it's a much better, easier to operate product what we have. And last year was a fantastic year. We expanded 3 times across multiple verticals. And this year it's more expanding on those verticals. Obviously, we will be raising more funding. We have crowdfunding going on, investor funding going on, and hiring. This year we are really hoping it's a big year for us.
And last but not least, do you have any advice for future entrepreneurs or people starting on the food tech industry?
I mean, I do get asked this many times, right? And then my answer to them is always very similar, right? If you want to be an entrepreneur, you got to be passionate about it, right? I mean, because don't underestimate the level of struggles and the level of things that you go through. And if you're not passionate about what you're building, it's really hard, right? So, I mean, I think, you have to love what you do. Otherwise, don't jump in, right? Yeah, I think that is fundamentally critical to become an entrepreneur. The second advice that I give is, things will go wrong, but just take a look forward to make sure that, you have to keep your heads down at some points in time and then just work through it, because otherwise it's just not going to work out. Don't give up. Believe in yourself, right? Just continue to work on it.
Thank you so much for sharing and being super honest about it and open about the company, about your experience, about everything. And thank you so much for being here. Do you have any social media handles? Where can people find you, or Blendid? Just
email me through Blendid. That is probably the easiest way.
Amazing. Thank you so much. And remember, guys, that you can also find more information, interesting articles, interesting interviews, just like this one with Venki, directly on our website, ControlHub.com/builder-nation. We would love to hear from you. And once again, Venki, thank you so much for being here, for sharing your experiences, for talking at the Builder Nations podcast.
Okay, thank you so much, Alyssa, and thank you so much, Builder Nation, for doing this. Yeah, it's been a great conversation. Yeah, you guys, I wish you guys a lot of success too.